This monitor is insane. It's the KTC H24 F8. Don't worry, I didn't knew the brand either, until I found out they're actually a manufacturer from Dell, and this is the cheapest 180Hz gaming monitor you can get, with a refresh rate made for competitive players with 1 millisecond response time and for just $80. And the first thing that came to my mind was, where's the catch? I bought it directly from AliExpress, so between the brand and the store this could be the perfect mix for a disaster. Luckily the monitor arrived fast and without any issue. But now, what's hiding behind this monitor? A year ago we thought 100Hz for $80 was an absolute steal. We even saw a 165Hz Dell for just $110. I didn't thought it could get any better till I stumbled upon this model. At first glance, the design actually looks quite nice. It has a clean and mature look, with only a bottom bezel. It doesn't immediately scream, as others, that it is in fact a cheap monitor. But if you look any closer, you'll start noticing where they had to cut in costs. For example, the stand has no fancy plastic covers, just a plain piece of painted metal with no height or rotation adjustments, just a slight tilt. You can easily fix this height issue by stacking some books under it or getting a cheap Visa mount for better ergonomics and desk space, but at least the stand takes up very little space compared to pricier monitors. The back plastic design also surprised me. For such a cheap monitor I wasn't expecting any personality or branding elements, but it actually has a nice patterned finish. As for ports, you get an audio jack, 2 HDMI 2.0 ports, one DisplayPort 1.4, and it has an external power supply. Now let's get straight to the bad things. The product page claims HDR10 support, and in fact that's a lie. That would require at least 1000 nits of brightness, and this one has 400. Which is inside the average, but it's not inside the needed for the HDR10 specifications. I've said this many times. Most brands fake HDR claims, thinking they'll sell more units, but no one is buying a monitor at this price point and expecting real HDR. And then I got another surprise. Based on the price and my previous experience with this brand, I expected another BA panel, which has its pros and cons, but it is usually slow as far as response time with very obvious ghosting. But not this time, we actually get a fast IPS panel, the latest generation of IPS technology with better response times. Out of the box, there's some ghosting, but with 180Hz and a 1920x1080 resolution, this is an ideal competitive setup, and even a great option for consoles. As I've said, this monitor is not screaming that it is a cheap monitor. In fact, it has a joystick for navigating the menus, and it's larger and more comfortable than many high-end monitors. Even the on-screen menus are custom designed, unlike the basic UI I saw in the last KTC monitor. That's an unexpected bonus at this price. And if you're navigating the menus, make sure to enable overdrive, which dramatically improves response time. The best setting I found for me is the advanced mode, which eliminates ghosting while keeping perfect balance. The ultra fast mode ends up with a lot of artifacts, so I don't recommend it. It also supports G-Sync and FreeSync, which helps maintain smooth gameplay even if your FPS drops. IPS panels are known for backlight bleeding, but in this case, it's within normal levels. This depends from person to person, but for me, it's not an issue. Unlike some monitors that allow overclocking, this one is locked at 180Hz. No extra hertz, just its advertised max refresh rate. It's in fact a surprisingly versatile monitor since it's a next-gen IPS panel. I've actually been using it for daily tasks, including 3D content creation, color correction, and other very dependent color representation tasks, and for me, the only drawback for my personal taste is that I prefer bigger monitors with more resolution for my working tasks, because this one is 24 inches. That shows how versatile it can be, with great color accuracy and a price that's even better. As a final verdict, I thought 100Hz for this price was already a steal. Reaching 180Hz at this price and with an IPS panel is actually insane. It's only slightly more expensive than most 1080-60Hz monitors, but offers so much more value. Yes, big brands sell similar monitors for around the $140 mark, but that's almost double the price, and in this budget range, every dollar saved matters. Not very long ago, an IPS monitor with this refresh rate would have cost $350 or $400. KTC might be an unknown brand, but after testing several of their models, I think they know exactly where to cut costs to deliver solid products. And the best part, as these monitors get cheaper, high-end models are also forced to drop prices, so now anyone can get a competitive gaming monitor no matter their budget. And to be clear, at this price, there's nothing that beats it. If I needed a monitor for competitive gaming, I wouldn't even consider anything else. I'd rather save the extra money for better peripherals. What about you? Would you take this 180Hz KTC for $80? Or you either prefer to pay $140 for a big brand alternative?